Hey beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. My name is Shantia. So today we're going to get into another episode of Worthy, Flirty, and Thriving. So for this episode, I really wanted to get into talking about and discussing the gold of how I've been able to live a life of inspiration. So I think inspiration truly is a gift. I'm not going to lie, I am a moon fire sign. So inspiration is very important for me. And it is something that is my compass. It shows me the direction to go in my life. So today I wanted to kind of discuss some of the 4 tips on how you can, with clarity, live a life of inspiration, how you can move towards your goals. So one thing I always hear from women all the time is that they're confused. They don't know, right? So that's often why we seek out a coach, a counselor, a therapist, journaling, as well as tarot. Because we want some answers, right? We want to know. But as we all know, all of these options are there to confirm to us what we already know. So most of us have an intuition. Sorry, all of us. I don't know why I said it like that. All of us, every single one of us, we have an intuition that's there to guide you. I find that whenever I am on the up and up, right, I'm getting momentum, and I'm finding success in my endeavors, or energy is just flowing really good. It's when I'm following this knowing, which, some people define as the higher self, or some people define as just intuition or your gut. I'm just following this thing that's just telling me this is what feels good. This is what you're here to do. When I lean into the knowing, that's when things open up for me. When I lean into fear and doubt, now I don't know. Now I'm uncertain. So if you want to experience more assurance in your life and in your life path, first of all, you need to open up to the knowing. And the way that you practice using this muscle, using your gut and trusting your intuition, is you have to follow it. You have to follow it. There's no shortcut. So, we might be able to quantum leap, wormhole, black hole our way into a progressive and a new future and a new you and a new self. And most definitely, that is what I'm calling into my life, is I am finding ways to move towards what I really want without feeling like I have to delay it 20 years or something like that. I'm like, no, now's the time. Now's the time, because I declared it to be so. More than that, you have to just practice using your intuition, though, on a regular basis. So that's what I love about tapping into tarot, is it's a way for me to practice using my intuition and guidance on where I need to go. Before I started doing pick a card readings online, I was doing readings with myself. And I realized they were essentially painting a picture and showing me what I needed to do. But you have to ask the right questions. When it comes to tarot, it's about asking the right questions. And when it comes to life, when it comes to journaling, you have to ask the right questions. And that requires your intuition. So all the while, my guides, God is pointing me in the direction of do this, do that. It's still vague. So I have to still try things out and put things out into the universe in order for me to get the feedback I need to know which way to go. So I want to share with you guys a fabulous formula that has helped me to really tap into accessing gold. Think less plus do less equals gain more. So most of us are feminines. I'm assuming this series is dedicated to women. Most of us are feminines. The way that our energy works is not getting so lost in our thoughts. That works to our disadvantage. So often why you're confused is probably because you're trying to think of a solution. And it's not as if you don't use your brain for anything, but it's not what you want to lean towards for the answer. It'll help you kind of put the details together. It'll help you put together some kind of structure and organize the information, but it will not help you to know what's going to give you fulfillment. If you want fulfillment, you have to listen to your heart. If you want fulfillment. So you have to meditate with your heart and ask it, heart, what do you want? So think less. Let's get to the next part. Do less. Why do you want to do less? Relaxed energy is feminine energy. So if you start to build up a mentality, which a lot of us have at this point because of this hustle and bustle world, if you start to build up this mentality that you have to do everything in order to gain results, then that's what you have to do. You're going to be on this train of getting results over and over just to squeeze this much out of it. And this is something I have to remind myself of all the time. When I'm just enjoying and I'm present with the thing I'm experiencing, that's when I get the results. And so I'm really challenging you right now to really enrich your energy and stop trying to do so much to gain results or to gain the outcome. Think less plus do less equals gain more. What do you want more of? You want more respect? You want more abundance? You want more successful results? You want more connection? You want more love in your life? All of this requires the special formula. So let me go ahead and start with sharing my tips with you guys. And as I'm sharing my tips, I will share with you guys my story as to how I was able to essentially come to the conclusion of like what works and what doesn't work, because all of what I've gained, what I've gleaned from life has been through experience. So tip number 1, explore the first available idea. So if you're confused about like, okay, how do I do this? How do I bring more abundance into my life? How do I have more fun? The one thing I started to do when I was in college pursuing my art degree is I just would go with the first idea that came to mind. And I would stop trying to think of what's the right idea. What's the best idea? I got out of my head and I was just like, okay, this is what I want to do. That's the higher self. That's the confident self. The one that just knows, the knowing. That's the one that's leading you, but most of us don't listen to it. So I'm not saying that even if you were to pursue an idea that you won't need to modify it. Of course you'll need to modify it. There's a very loud plane flying. I think this is confirmation that good things are coming in life. Explore the first available idea. So this comes for everything. This comes to like, let's say you have like a routine you're doing in your day and you're trying to accomplish certain tasks and you're like, okay, which one do I do? Right? We can become very indecisive. And that's because the ones who are the most indecisive, that's because you're not listening, or the moments where you're feeling the most indecisive, that's where you're not listening to your heart. Your heart knows. Like there's a part of you that already knows the answer right away. You know, when you look at something, you go to the store and you're shopping and you just want that one. But you're like, oh no, but the budget. Oh no, but how's he going to feel about this? Oh no, but how's she going to feel about this? Who cares? Who cares? It's too much. So just go with the first available option that feels like exciting to you. Then your life isn't going to be so complex or complicated. When I decided to pursue, so originally I was pursuing a graphic design degree. And it just seems practical, right? You can do a lot with a graphic design degree. Who's not going to want a graphic designer somewhere? But I wasn't having fun. I wasn't. I was in the classes, and it's ironic because I essentially graphic design my thumbnails. But it wasn't fun for me. Like that wasn't my fun way of learning. I wasn't really gaining that much. So I went to the presentation for the juniors, and they presented their work. Like their year-long or their year's work in college. They did like a big presentation showing their portfolio. And I was absolutely blown away and inspired. And immediately I went up to and I was a junior at this time. I went up to my professor / advisor and I told him, hey, I want to switch my degree. I don't want to do a graphic design degree anymore. I'm a fine art student. I'm a hands-on fine art. I need to be in the studio painting, taking photos, using my hands to create magic. And my teacher's like, okay. I switched my degree, and lo and behold, it just came out of me. When I say it came out of me, I was so inspired. I had so much fun. I created some of the best work I've ever created, ever. Some of the best work I've ever created. Essentially, what I learned from that experience is it was already in me. I didn't have to make it happen. So when you're on a path to just like really enjoying life and not trying to make everything happen, doors are just going to open for you. I graduated with honors, great grades. My teachers were looking at me like, where did you come from? who are you? Because it wasn't forced. And I'm just like, I'm trying to make these videos to help people understand, if you're living a life where you feel like things are hard, that you're not doing what you're meant to do. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. It should feel like flow. Rigidity, drained, stressed, overwork, we've normalized it. That is not normal. Your health shouldn't be at risk. You should be vibrant all the time, full of energy, full of inspiration, ideas. And I'm not telling you to pressure yourself and be like, oh my gosh, why am I not like that? I'm telling you to recognize what has pulled you from that, because at your core, that's who you are. So first available idea. First, when I go to, if I'm creating anything, the reason why I'm able to tap into creativity so effortlessly, it's because, I learned in college. Even prior to that, I was always like inspired, but in college particularly, I learned to go with the first available idea. I stopped overthinking things, even though my senior thesis would say otherwise. But I stopped overthinking things. I just let it be. I'm just like, oh, this is what I want to do. Let's do it. And anytime I've ever made a really good decision in my life, it's come from this place of like impulsive inspiration. It does not come from a place of weighing the pros and cons of like what I think I should do and what I shouldn't do. I'm like, you could do that, but that's not really going to be a life of inspiration like you want it to be. Okay, so go with the first available idea. Stop questioning yourself. Oh, should I make this for dinner? Should I make that for dinner? Just choose the first thing that you felt inspired to create and just go with it. Which takes me to my second tip. Be decisive and commit. This is why people don't give it enough chance to see if they're going to get the results that they want. You have to be in it for the long haul, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a career path, whether it's some kind of endeavor, you're wanting some kind of outcome, right? You're wanting to get to the finished product. It takes commitment to do that. It takes commitment. You have to see it through. You have to be patient with yourself. That's why I love getting into insane flow states where I just go, 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 because I have lots of energy and I just do it. And then even though I've been putting an insane amount of work, I don't see the results until like weeks or months later. And then I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I've been working so hard for. But when you're in a flow state, when you're lost in the art, when you're lost in what you're doing, when you're enjoying it so much, you're not thinking about how much does this cost? How much time am I putting into this? You're so present, enjoying the process, that you're going to manifest the outcome regardless. You don't have to try. Okay, so being decisive and committing is something you have to practice doing, just sticking with the decision. Sticking with a decision and seeing it through for yourself. That's how we achieve anything, is commitment. You have to commit. Tip number 3, you have to pour your heart and your soul into it. You have to pour your heart and soul. There are so many times where I've most definitely seen women, especially myself included, where I'm like, I put in so much work. I put in so much energy into that. Why did I not get anything? Why did I work 4 years at that job and I still felt miserable every day? When I say miserable, I'm just saying it wasn't fun. Okay, it took energy from me just to think about like getting out of bed to do it. And then I would come home and I would just be done. No energy, dead. Because it was taking my energy just to do it and partake in it. So you have to pour your heart and soul into it. It sounds so cheesy, but it's pretty much what works. If you do not pour your heart and soul into it, how are you going to get any fulfillment out of it? What do you think fulfillment is? It's supposed to be full. You have to pour your heart and soul into whatever you're doing, whatever you're creating, whatever you're making. It should feel like your baby, and this is how you're going to generate the outcome that you want. Ultimately, we want experience, we want fulfillment, we want love, we want joy. But you got to pour it, you have to infuse it into the creation itself in order for it to come back towards you. So when I'm making these videos, I really do have to think about it, because I'm like, it is easy sometimes for me to get on like routine. And I'm like, all right, got to post another video today. And I actually do find a lot of like weird, odd joy in like routine and consistently uploading. Like, it just makes me feel good just to see that I did it. And I like having a complete project by the end of the day. It makes me feel good. But at the same time, I'm really going to start pulling back, because I just want to like enjoy being with myself. as weird as that sounds, I just want to enjoy doing random things right now. And I think that's going to fulfill me. So you really have to listen to what fulfills you. You have to listen to the moons and the cycles, the phases of life that tell you, this is what's fulfilling me right now. This is what's fulfilling me right now. This is what's fulfilling me right now. And every day it should be like that. Every day there's an opportunity for you to feel fulfilled. So like the other day when I was doing a pick a card reading, I decided to like do something a little bit different because I like the challenge of changing it up. I like the challenge of things being different because it's exciting all over again. So when you pour your heart and soul into it, also find ways to make it fun, like make it different, make it unique. That's actually one of the key ingredients to achieving success. So if you think about like a lot of artists, I'm thinking like actors and actresses, their projects are different every single time. And in fact, I feel like the most interesting artists who are successful all across the board when it comes to their projects, they choose different things to do every single time. They like doing something different. You know, those actors you think about who totally transform themselves and they become an entirely different person in every single movie. I'm like, that's got to be so exciting, you know, to know that you're like, why do people challenge themselves like this? Because they know that that's one of the key ingredients to obtaining success is just doing something different and having to release the outcome. Challenge yourself to do something different. Challenge yourself to pour your heart and soul into it and see what comes of it. Okay, so for tip number 4, release it and do not obsess. Release it and do not obsess. That's hard. I think as women, we're probably the more obsessive. I don't know if it's a guy thing for guys to be obsessive. I mean, I'm sure they can be obsessive. Okay, I take that back. That was such an odd statement. I just know as a woman, particularly, we're so good at creating stories in our head. Like we can create entire books. That's why there's such, women are phenomenal writers, I guess. Especially when it comes to like the relationship dynamics between characters, I would have to say. Because we already create lots of stories in our head half the time about things. You need to, whenever it comes to like, I don't know, you're trying to bring some more joy into your relationship. You're trying to bring some more joy into your life in general. Pursue the thing and release it. Release it. Like, do it and let go of this obsession over what you think it's supposed to be. We have a lot of ideas about what we think we're supposed to receive, what we think we're supposed to get out of the equation, what we think. Essentially, stop thinking, right? Get out of the thinking, right? What's our special equation? Think less, do less, gain more. Think less, do less, gain more. So that equation doesn't say don't think, and that equation doesn't say don't do anything. I'm just telling you do less. Do less. Let it come towards you. Learn how to tap into that receptive mode. So that's what tip number 4 is about. It's about the receptive mode. It's about allowing yourself just to sit back and to enjoy the experience unfold. Be like, wow, that's so amazing that happened. And I was having that moment today because I essentially manifested something that I'd been wanting, and it was way more generous than I was expecting. And I was just like, that's crazy. Like, how did that happen? How did I get not only what I want and what I needed, but something that surpassed my expectations times 10? How did that happen? I don't even know. But just thinking about it just brings a smile to my face because I'm fascinated. Like, I really don't know. Like, part of me wants to know what was the formula? Like, at what moment did I manifest it? And then it just happens. Who knows? It's a mystery, and life is a mystery. And I think that's kind of the point, is you want to give in to that mystery, which is also feminine energy, is mystery. Give into that mystery of not knowing everything, not needing to know everything, not needing to know how things are going to turn out. But I think the most rewarding thing of all is when you pour your heart and your soul into something, that's the most rewarding experience, which is why the outcome really doesn't matter. It doesn't. Okay. So that's what I wanted to share in this lesson. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So those are my 4 tips on essentially how can we enjoy life, you know, instead of tapping into confusion and desperate action where we gain small results. How can we tap into ease and flow into our life? getting what we want. So the secret really is, I keep saying that because everything's a secret and a key. The secret really is just enjoying it. In that moment, you have to enjoy it. Make the most of it. Turn every moment into gold. Turn every opportunity into gold. Milk the most out of it. And I feel like when I'm watching people half commit, I can feel it. I can feel your half commitment to that situation. What would it look like if you wholly committed to that situation? Then what would happen? So yeah, sometimes it blows me away, like when I get such a positive outcome, but then I have to remind myself, well, I did pour my heart and soul into it. And that is essentially what I was asking from the universe. I was like, hey, this is my heart and soul. I'm doing it. Let's see what happens. So I have to remind myself of that sometimes. Like, yeah, I did do all of that work. I did put all of that effort, all that love into it, all that energy into it, which I don't even think I used that word hardly through this episode. But yes, everything is energy. Energy is everything. Use it to your will. Use it to make your life easier, flow easier, and so much more enjoyable. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm going to go ahead and finally end this video. I'll see you guys next time, and we'll see. I feel like I'm going to be taking it easy, but sometimes just making these videos is me taking it easy. So you just don't know sometimes. Sometimes like me just creating something that's me taking it easy. That's me enjoying my life. And it should feel like that. It should all be connected. That's feminine energy. It's all connected. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you guys next time. Have a beautiful day or evening. Like, subscribe to support the channel. I'll see you next time.